Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be doing the first page in my sketchbook. I apologize right now, I completely forgot to record the sketch. I really wanted to, but I just completely forgot about it. Here I'm just showing a couple things I got when I picked up this sketchbook. I got a couple pencil extenders. The one I have, it's horrible, it just chews up pencils really badly. I got a couple flat wash brushes, 2 brown Prismacolor color erase pencils, and then a couple polychromos pencils because as we remember from the Melba Posca painting, I didn't have the right brown, so I wanted to grab a couple more just so that I had a bit more of a variety. Anyways, to this painting, usually I always have a hard time starting sketchbooks just because the first page is blank, you don't know what to put on it. So I always try have some form of a title page. And originally I had sketched like a cartoon version of myself sitting on a pile of sketchbooks, and each one was I was going to paint to look like a previous sketchbook I had done, but it just, the anatomy was off. I really didn't like how it was turning out. So instead, I just kind of sat there, turned my phone camera on, and drew a self-portrait. I will say now, I don't know what it was, maybe the colors I used or the sketch, but I just look sad. I don't know. Overall, it's not too bad. There's definitely some proportions that are a little bit off, but for someone who doesn't like to draw themselves, it was a fairly good attempt, I would say. This sketchbook, it's not specifically for watercolors. I wanted to get one, but they were all out of stock, so I just went with my kind of go-to sketchbook. It's one I've been using since the beginning of high school. It's the Canson XL Mixed Media sketchbook. In school, they would always give us the bigger 9x12 ones, but big pages like that kind of, they don't scare me, but I don't like drawing big. So in this one, I'm using the 7x10 sketchbook. It's much more comfortable size for me. The ones that I really like using are like the 5.5 by 8.5, so kind of half of letter size. So for this painting, I am using some Daniel Smith watercolors that I got, and I usually shade my paintings with like a purple, and I guess I tried to go for that for this one, but it was just really not the right color and it really dulls out the painting. Like as soon as I put it down at first, I was like, oh, that's not the right color, but I kept going with it, and yeah, it would have been nice to use a little bit of a different color, but it's not too bad. I have a lot of trouble with right now is mixing the right color for my hair, because it's kind of always changing. Late last year I decided that I wanted to go a lighter blonde, and since then, just with using like a toner and purple shampoo, my hair is like a really light blue right now. So it's pretty hard to get the exact color because it's not quite blue, but it's not quite blonde either. I don't know. As I was painting, I also realized I made that eyebrow way too thick, but it is what it is, I guess. I tried to use the frame of my glasses to kind of hide that. It somewhat worked, but yeah, that eyebrow's definitely too thick. I wanted to get some good use out of those flat brushes I got. You can see the two that I actually got the other day are still sitting there. I haven't touched them yet. But when I first ordered, I placed an order in my local art store because they were closed until a couple days ago. And I don't know what I was thinking, but the 2 sizes of brushes I got were like less than half the size I thought they were going to be. So when I went back to get a sketchbook, I took a quick peek at their brushes and I got some bigger ones. I'm using one of them right now for the sweater. You can definitely tell with this wash that this paper isn't the best for watercolor. Like, it lays on pretty patchy and the paper does warp a decent amount, but for a sketchbook, just to mess around in, I really like this one. It works fairly well for watercolors, and it works pretty good for markers. I was wanting to try a watercolor sketchbook because that's the main medium I use, but I didn't want to get one because I will somewhat frequently use markers, and I'm worried that if I get a watercolor sketchbook and I use markers on it, it's just gonna soak up all the ink and just dry my markers out like crazy. So in a way, I'm kind of glad it was out of stock because then I didn't have to kind of pick one or the other. But I do want to slowly try a couple more brands of not watercolors, of sketchbooks. Well, watercolors too. That's never gonna change. But I do want to try some other sketchbooks just to find one that works really well for me. When I did the frames for my glasses, they're a bit thinner than that, but also I realized that they're thicker on the end, so they looked sloped, so that also doesn't help with me looking sad. Here I was just kind of deciding which pencil crayon I wanted to use for the outline. I just wanted to use one of the browns I got just to add a subtle outline to it, just to help define some features. For some reason, I keep thinking that I did this painting like a couple days ago, but I actually did it last night. So hopefully I'm gonna try to be a little bit more consistent in drawing in my sketchbook. Yesterday it definitely helped. Since last summer, me and a group of people from the college I went to, we have been meeting up weekly for sketch nights, where we'll just sit somewhere and draw, talk, discuss, if we've gotten any commissions lately or what projects we're working on. Just a good opportunity to get some feedback. But with a lot of places closing, we have had to do an online version. And it's great to still be able to meet up. It's just not everybody is able to meet up at the same time. A lot of people have been losing track of time, or they've just been preoccupied with other things that they forget about it. But last night we were able to meet up, and so I worked on this while we talked, and it was really nice to get to talk with everyone again and see who was working on what and how their projects were going from the last time I spoke to them. Funny enough, a lot of us were just not working on projects we could have been. We were just messing around in our sketchbooks. After the liner, I just felt like the page was kind of empty, so I went in with kind of like a peachy orange and just filled in the background with the solid wash. It wasn't much, but it definitely helped make the page look a bit fuller. But with that, it's done. And thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day. Again, links are always in the description. See ya.